I posted my first video on my channel in April 2018, just wanting to share my passion for junk journals. And here we are about 830 videos later, and having learned a few things along the way, in January 2023 with 50,000 subscribers and a dream that I didn't even dare dream a few years ago, earning a living with my small creative business. And I cannot stress enough that none of this would have been possible without you. Some of you have been with me from the very beginning, and some have joined recently, and I'm truly, truly grateful for each and every one of you. As a symbol of gratitude, I wanted to make this tag with a wonky heart made of wire. This is not a tutorial because I've never tried this before. I wanted to add some different colored beads to represent you, my viewer, in all of your diversity. So I strung the beads onto the wire first, and then I twisted them around each other to not only secure the beads, but also to strengthen the heart itself. Then I twisted the wire around the whole heart again one more time. And finally, I added some embroidery thread in 3 different colors in various areas around the heart, symbolizing how all of our hearts are patched up in various places because of all the heartaches we had to experience in our lives. And it's these experiences that make us who we are today as an artist. The heart doesn't only symbolize my gratitude, appreciation, and love for you, but also this junk journal community is so amazing that I have the feeling we beat as one heart. And of course, we all live on the Defemorember continent, like my dear friend Louise Heinzel visually demonstrated so well using the last prompt for December 25th of Defemorember. So there are 2 reasons why I wanted to make this video. The first, of course, so that I could give back and say a huge thank you to you. The second reason is to encourage anyone who has started their own YouTube journey recently, as well as for all those of you who are thinking of starting. If I can make it, then so can you. Be patient and be consistent, and don't let anyone tell you you're not good enough. Don't think that I didn't have my share of viewers writing me that I didn't have what it takes. But thankfully, I didn't listen to them. And I will also link a video for you in the description box where I give you a whole bunch of tips on how to become a full-time YouTuber as a crafter. So I say let's finish this tag and then get into more details on the sponsors and their amazing prizes for you. So next I want to create a background with my jelly plate. And I need something where the heart is going to show up. So I think it needs to be a light background. It can have a little bit of pattern, but I definitely want the heart to be the focal point. So I'm going to start off with a tiny bit of graphite acrylic paint, and I will mix that with some titanium white to lighten it up. Oops. So we want a nice, light, even coat. And I've cut a piece of packaging paper. So that's going to be my background. And this is a catastrophe. Do not use packaging paper on your jelly plate because look what happens. Oh, it's too thin. Okay, complete fail. Not to worry, I can clean this with some soap and water. I will clean that later. For now, I'm just going to turn it around because luckily our jelly plates have 2 sides. So I'm going to try this again. Ooh, that was a lot. That was way too much of everything. I'm getting rid of some of the paint on a scrap paper on the side. This is way too much. So this time I'm going to try some regular copy paper. So I've been rubbing this for about a minute. Yeah, oh, so much better. perfect for our first layer. Yay! So now for the second one, I want to add a subtle design. I'm going to use this here, which is a piece of a placemat. Placemats are awesome to use for patterns on jelly plate prints, I found out. Maybe I mix some titanium white. This time I will hopefully manage to use less. And I'll add some buff titanium, keeping all the colors very light. So again, making sure I have a very thin layer. Now I'll add my pattern on top. Let's pull it off. Yeah, that's beautiful. So now let's add that on top. Again, I've rubbed for about a minute. So that's very subtle. I think this will be really good for our background, but I'm also thinking it does need a little more interest, doesn't it? I think I already have an idea. So I think I'm done with the jelly plate for now. Thank you, jelly plate. That was awesome. Before I add anything else to the background, I want to make a tag. So I'm going to glue this onto something more sturdy, and I want to use this packaging because this is a really nice material actually. It's not thick, but it's super sturdy. So I'll glue it on and then I'll decide on the size of my tag. Then I'm also going to go ahead and cut the corners on the top. Then I want to give my edges 2 different tones. I want a very soft, warmer tone by using the frayed burlap with a makeup brush. Maybe add a few drops of water to that to see some oxidation. Okay, let's dab that off and hopefully we will see some nice effects. Yeah. And then I want to add some iced spruce ink on the edges. And then I want to add some stamping on the tag as well. I'm going to use my Ice Spruce Distress ink. I've chosen a few sentiments that I think work really well. So the first one is obviously thank you. So that can go right up there in the middle. Then we have life is better with friends. So you are my friends. And there's for someone special, because each and every one of you is super special. How do we do this? I'll do for someone here. And then I'll stamp the special, adding a paper so I don't mess up the rest of the tag. Yep. Then I have thinking of you, because I'm always thinking of you. Then I also want to add 50K to the tag. These are die cuts from this die set. The number is 665924. I will link this for you in the description box below this video. And I used the smaller size, which is 7/8 of an inch. But I need these to be embossed in gold, obviously. So I'm going to take my Distress embossing pen and just go over those. Adding my gold embossing powder from Hero Arts. Will I ever find them again? No. Oops. I think I'm totally fine with it if it's not an even coverage. even better. I like the distressed look. I haven't glued it down yet. I like it, but it still looks very plain. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is sew around the tag. It's definitely better, and I chose a black thread because I have some dark gray black wire here. And I think I also still need to add some jet black ink on the edges. Maybe I could add some fabric scraps to make it more interesting without taking too much interest from the heart. I should have done that before I sewed over the edge, but I could always just sew over it again. Maybe a little tab up here. So I first glued all the fabric pieces on and then I sewed over them. So I think now you can't really tell that they weren't there first. I also glued down the 50K, and of course no tag would be complete without some splatters. So I'll add some in gold, and hopefully I won't mess up any of the sentiments. I also want some with a little more contrast in black. Careful, 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 lightly, light touch, light touch. So it's the next day, and as you can see, I've added a few more things since you've seen this tag last. So I also added a few white splatters, as well as some stamped stars. Then I sewed on the heart right through the cardstock, here, 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 and here, with black thread, so you can't see that at all, and you don't see any glue globs, so I'm really happy with that. Then I added this paper tab up here with a wooden floral embellishment, onto which I added some black StazOn ink and this gold flower. Then I backed it with some Tim Holtz cardstock, and I thought it still needed something, so lastly I added some gold spotted wallpaper around it, and I think now finally it looks like it's done to me. On the back, I just sprayed the wallpaper with frayed burlap and some gold and stamped January 23 on top here, and I want to then later add some journaling about this milestone. So this is ready to go into a journal. And even though the Femorember, of course, is over, I feel most connected to you in this journal. So this is where the tag needs to go. And I think the most appropriate place to add it to is on the back cover here. So I'm just going to use a little clamp like this and clamp it to the inside cover. So this journal that Louise made for me has two covers, and it's just clamped to the inside one. And I think this is just the perfect spot for it. So what can I give back to you? I wanted to reach as many of you as possible. So the first thing I wanted to give you is a freebie. And I created this freebie especially for you for this occasion. It has 4 journaling cards of the 4 seasons. So we have summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And they each have a sentiment. So the summer one says, "Take me where summer never ends." Then for autumn, we have "Autumn, the last loveliest smile." For winter, we have "Winter is not a season, it's a celebration." And for spring, we have "Let your joy burst forth like flowers in the spring." So you can find this freebie linked below in the description box. I hope you enjoy adding these journaling cards to your own journal. Secondly, I thought it would be appropriate for 50,000 subscribers to get a 50% discount in my store for 5 days. So from today, January 20, 7 p.m. Central European Time, for 5 days, so to January 25th, end of the day. And you can find my shop link also below in the description box. And finally, I have amazing prizes from 5 different sponsors for you, just because you're so awesome. But before I introduce the prizes, let me mention what you must do to win one of those prizes. Leave a comment below this particular video letting me know since when you started junk journaling, or if you are not a junk journaler yet, please let me know what interests you about it. I will use a random comment picker in 2 weeks, so on February 3rd, to determine the lucky winners and will announce them on my channel a few days later. You will not know which prize you will receive until the drawing of the names. So finally, let me tell you about our amazing sponsors and prizes. First up, we have Amanda from Your Creative Studio. I have worked together with Amanda, who is the owner of Your Creative Studio subscription boxes for years. And Amanda kindly sponsored one vintage stationery box for one lucky winner. The next generous gift is from PM Artist Studio, who I was able to recently partner with when I created my paper bags using their amazing stencils on my jelly plate. So Patricia and Mariah have kindly sponsored a $50 gift card for their online store. Tina from the Digital Collage Club, for which I am a design team member myself, has agreed to sponsor one lifetime membership for her digital online store. Yes, that means you can download as much as you want from her online store for a lifetime. Next, my friend Sharika from Postal Love on Instagram is generously sponsoring one top-tier 3-month subscription pack worth more than 105 euros. This is a large surprise vintage paper pack which includes a variety of vintage tickets, stamps, receipts, ledger paper, magazines, and diverse vintage ephemera. And our 5th sponsor is from Romy, the owner of Quilting for You, which is a German shop specialized in fabrics. I've just recently discovered Romy's shop, and she has the most amazing collection of Tim Holtz fabrics. And Romy has generously sponsored 5 prizes for 3 times 50 centimeters fabric each. So that means 5 prizes with 1.5 meters per prize. So that's a total of 9 amazing prizes and 9 chances to win. Thank you so much to each of these sponsors. You are absolutely fabulous, and I know your prizes will very much be appreciated by my viewers. You can find all the links to the shops mentioned in the description box below this video. And lastly, since I have experienced how much fun it is to play with scraps of another crafter after receiving a whole bunch from my dear friend Louisa Heinzel for Defemorember in this journal, I've decided to also donate an envelope of my scraps. So don't forget to check out my freebie and my store-wide sale. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.
Here's to the good days. Here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, 'cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop.